Welcome everybody to yet another live interview on Umbrella Connect. Some awesome news this week for those of you out who are massive Microsoft advocates like myself, and arguably today we're joined by the biggest Microsoft advocate, specifically Azure advocate in New Zealand, the business group lead from Microsoft New Zealand, Mr. Patrick Quesnel. He's on the other end of a Skype call. We've invited him on today to talk a little bit about the press release from Microsoft around the Azure region coming to New Zealand. So, Paddy, great to have you on. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday afternoon.
Thanks,
you guys had a huge week this week. I know that it's whilst this has just broke cover, it's been tireless work for you over the last year or so. And we thought we'd spend a little bit of time to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Thanks, David. Yeah, great to be here and have a chat to you and to the wider audience.
So just on the announcement then, I mean, New Zealand has, fair to say, had its pretty... we've been shortchanged over time in terms of our digital equality in the world, and Microsoft seem to have started to change that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some pieces there. I think we all know that New Zealand punches well above its weight in anything it does, but particularly in business, and we're seeing that now with technology and innovation is what's coming out of this country. But we've made an effort, a conscious effort, even before this announcement, to really try and drive the ability to connect New Zealand to the Microsoft Global Cloud platform. And so even before we made this announcement, we have a direct connection out of Auckland onto our global backbone, our dark fibre, if you will, across leased and owned infrastructure that connects not only New Zealand to the Australian regions, but all the other regions we have globally, so that wherever your customers are, that they can get the best service. So that I guess the thing there is that that has always been there for the last few years, if not longer. And now with this extra investment, it now just means what we want to be able to do is help New Zealand, and particularly New Zealand Inc. as such, which I'm pretty proud Kiwi about, to really do new things that couldn't be done until this new region lands. So, there are still amazing things that be done by connecting through to our Australian regions and others beyond. But there's some pretty cool things that we know now with this region coming will help New Zealand, not only help New Zealand itself, but actually help New Zealand organisations reach the world with our platform and network infrastructure.
Yeah, and it's fair to say that the partners that we work really closely with across all the workloads across Azure are super excited by this news. We've had a lot of questions come in around when this is all going to happen. Can you share any insights in terms of how people think about the planning when it comes into their roadmaps over the course of the next 1 to 2 to 3 years?
Yep, yeah, absolutely. I think the key thing is this announcement we make is not a big flashy launch. That's why there's not been a lot of detail, and the reason for that is it's just a disclosure. It's a disclosure that we've been given consent by our head office after our lengthy business case approval process to go ahead and put this region in New Zealand, and we've got the capital funding and the backing and all the processes and compliance and everything else done to now move forward and put this new region in country. That's going to take years. It's not months away, I'm afraid, but at the same time, when we build these new regions, it will be a fully fledged Microsoft region. It won't be a micro region. I know there's been some conjecture out there it would only be a small site, or comparisons to other vendors in market with other sort of cloud offerings. This is a full-blown 3-site region that will take time. We've actually got the land. We're now going to be going through the process of getting to build phase, getting the infrastructure connected to it. And as you can imagine, just like building a house, it's going to take quite some time. So until then, until that arrives and beyond, is that we still have this great connection through to Australia. And you should note that the Australian Sydney region, known as Oz East, if you're looking at the Azure portal, will always be a hero region. That means that any service that lands, new fancy shiny services that lands and workloads that you see in the US and the UK and Western Europe will go into the Australia region pretty damn quickly, if not the same time. And a case in point with that is around the new VMware services offering on Azure. and that means that New Zealand won't be a hero region, just like a lot of other regions globally. So there'll be services that won't be available locally that will be available in Australia East only. And that means you can still try and leverage that platform and service. So keep connecting to Australia and use the New Zealand region for new and cool, shiny things that you can't do currently.
So talk me through, Paddy, the approach to the other peripheral services outside of Azure specifically. So Azure is fundamentally the underpinning infrastructure of Dynamics and Office 3 and Microsoft 365 as well. What's the plan?
Yes.
What's the plan there?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, you're right. Azure is the primary infrastructure or the foundation infrastructure for our three cloud strategy, our three cloud workloads, and naturally after that we'll bring on top of that Microsoft 365 or what we call Modern Workplace, and then after that will be Dynamics and Power Platform, so D365 and Power Platform services. They all sort of stack on top of the other. There's probably anywhere from 3 months to 12 months after we go live with the Azure piece before those services will land, depending on the solution.
And in terms of the best place to find the latest news about the progress that Microsoft are making and the investment and breaking ground and the moving forward of that, where should we be looking?
Sorry, what do you mean in terms of
tracking the progress about where you guys are at and updates on timings.
Right.
Best place to hear the real news and not the fake news.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've already seen in media, which has been great, lots of speculation and discussion. I think any discussion's great, and we're not really going to be making any sort of further announcements at this stage in terms of details until we get to an accurate view of how long it's going to take to build. And it might not be until we've actually got to sort of halfway through that phase of building before we can do that. Generally, we actually don't make an announcement this far out. We've got a special business case to make this announcement now because we felt it was a great time to show what we wanted to do for New Zealand and start working strategically with customers and partners. I can't give you an idea of when we'll start making more and more announcements, but suffice to say, it'll be much closer to a time of going live with the region.
Yeah. Well, Paddy, look, I know it's Friday afternoon. You've earned a well-deserved beer, champagne, wine, whatever your tipple is. Just on behalf of the Microsoft community at Umbrella and our wider partners, thanks for the efforts of putting this one together, and it's massively appreciated of the advocacy that you've got for the local subsidiary and driving that to make sure we've got some strong digital equality. And it's great to be beating AWS and GCP to the punch as well. So we're real stoked about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks so much, David. I mean, it's been a huge team effort. It's been a full year, if not more, of planning and development and business casing, and to see it all come to fruition and see the real positive excitement that we've seen these last few days has been off the charts. I don't think anyone expected it within Microsoft to see this kind of impact. It just shows that we've been wanting it for a while.
Yeah, no, exactly. And on that note, it's Friday afternoon, and we'll let you go to enjoy that drink. Once again, Patrick Quesnel, Business Group Lead for Azure from Microsoft. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you once we get into level 2 or level 1 lockdown.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Cool.
Thanks so much,
Paddy.
David.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers. See you, everyone. Bye.
So there you have everyone, Patrick Quesnel on the other end of the line there, giving us the inside scoop on the approach to the business case and the investment that Microsoft are making. Thank you very much again for watching. You guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you again for another interview sometime soon. Sayonara.